Hi, this is Tracy HD, and I want to thank you for joining me today for our weekly Oracle and Tarot card reading. And this is going to be for the week of April the 12th through the 18th. We're using the beautiful Butterfly Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. And forgive me if I sound a little nasally. I'm having serious sinus issues with my allergies, being that it's springtime here in the Northern Hemisphere. So just bear with me. As I shuffle the deck, I'm asking all light beings, angels, and God, please relay the message I need to share with my viewers for the highest good of all. You may use this as a pick a card reading, 1, 2, or 3, or a blended reading, whichever you prefer. Okay, and let's see what we have for card number 1, or the beginning of the week. Emotions. Oh, I love these beautiful pale pink flowers. This whole entire deck is absolutely amazing. It's breathtaking, to say the least. Just take a sip here. Okay, so with emotions, you're evolving and progressing, so it's natural for you to have a different perspective now than you did before. We drew this card because your feelings are speaking to you, and it's important for you to listen. Ignored emotions only grow stronger and louder. Like they say, what you resist persists. So, sometimes we get these negative feelings and we just want to run from them, push them away. But, what I found is sitting with that emotion, feeling it, accepting it, and then releasing it works way better than just pushing it away and just having it persistently return because we're resisting it. And there's something in your life that's becoming intolerable to you. You once were able to endure or even enjoy the situation, but because you've changed, so too have your emotions. And we're all going through this, where there are certain things now, okay, that we have zero tolerance for. We're not the same people that we were last year, the year before that, the year before that. I could even say that from month to month, that my feelings and my beliefs have evolved so much and changed since I began this spiritual journey back in 2012, that, there are certain things that I just will not tolerate in my life. And there are things that I can't imagine why I put up with certain situations or toxic people for as long as I did. But now, no, I just can't go through, what I've been through. I've evolved, I've changed. And this card asks you to be honest with yourself and take inventory of how you're feeling. You don't have to resort to drastic action to resolve anything. Sometimes it's enough just to acknowledge your feelings so that your heart feels heard and understood. And, pay attention to how you feel when you're around certain people. Do they drain you? Do you feel exhausted after you leave their presence? Or do you feel inspired and happy and alive and renewed? I'll tell you, these gut feelings and your intuition does not lie. And I'm getting from Spirit from this card, this is a card also about trusting your intuition and your feelings. Those emotions are tied into the energy that you're receiving from people, places, and things that maybe once were part of your life that could no longer be part of your journey from this way forward. And then card number 2, or the middle of the week, we have realizations and epiphanies. Wow, it seems to me like this is an eye-opening week for us, where we're beginning the week by noticing our emotions and no longer, tolerating some of the situations or people that we've once tolerated. And this here, realizations and epiphanies, and I love these beautiful yellow flowers. It says the changes you're experienced are influenced by internal processes. You've been recognized important truths, and now you're questioning parts of your life that you once took for granted. And, these are tied in so much. Things that you just allowed okay? Things that you enabled are no longer acceptable to you. Believe me, I've gotten clarity on certain people and situations so much within just these past 2 years from 2019 into now 2021 that I can't believe that I overlooked some of the things that were going on. And I have to forgive myself because at the time I wasn't enlightened and evolved and I don't know how to even put it into words. Let's just say we do the best we could at the time with what we have and what we know. But the more educated and the more knowledgeable you become, the more evolved you become, you start picking up on these things that, somehow you overlooked and you wonder, how did I overlook this stuff? But don't beat yourself up over it. We're all experiencing these truths in our life about people and situations that, were basically an illusion. I know in my life, there was a situation that took place nearly 2 years ago that completely opened my eyes wide open to the complete illusion that was going on. And I began to see people for exactly who and what they were. And that you could never go back to trusting these people. And now that you look back, they say hindsight is 2020. It is so true. Because you look back and you realize, look at these red flags. Why didn't I see this? Because we didn't know. Our eyes weren't as open. We weren't as evolved as we are slowly becoming each and every day. That's why. Okay. And, right now, you've arrived at some new insights that are making you reconsider your previous choices as to, who and what you're going to allow in your life. Once you want, I'm so tongue-tied. I'm a Gemini, and believe me, my words and my thoughts are just running so quickly. What you once felt comfortable with now seems to make you really uncomfortable. And you might need to let go of some people, places, and things that cannot continue if you want to become more and more evolved. And you receive this card as acknowledgement of this development and also as guidance to take your time in making life decisions and adjustments. Do your research on things, get support, adopt changes that you feel necessary. After all, you don't want to increase your stress levels with any radical shifts that you're not prepared for. So it may mean some of you leaving a job that's unfulfilling. That was the beginning for me back in 2012, was leaving the job. And then after that, slowly but surely, people needed to be removed from my life as well. And, these are drastic changes that you can't take on all at once. You just have to sit back and take inventory of your life. What's working, what's not, who could stay, who needs to go. And now that you've had these realizations about these people, places, and things, you can make positive changes, at a slow, healthy pace. Your new outlook will lead the way and without stress and worries. And don't doubt yourself, because if your gut feeling is saying that this person or situation isn't right for you, trust it. Trust it. Otherwise, if you don't, you won't evolve. You will stay in the stagnancy of complacency and enabling when there's so much better for you out there. And then the third card at the end of the week, we have Windfall. And wow, these are very interesting flowers. I need to read up on my flowers more because I'm kind of a little rusty. It's so, so beautiful. This entire deck and this card here, Windfall, a positive change, in your finances is indicated with this card. Okay, and maybe it's from the week before where you've taken necessary, steps in changing your finances. Maybe you're pursuing something more lucrative in your career or your job, or maybe your self-employment. Although the newfound abundance may be unexpected, it definitely serves a purpose in your life. Your prayers for support have been heard and answered, and we're always provided for. Okay, when we feel that we just don't have enough, Don't give in to that scarcity mentality. The universe always has a way of delivering things and providing us with what we exactly need at the exact right time. And now it's your turn to experience this windfall. Pray and meditate to have the strength to say no to distracting influences that could squander these resources. So be aware of the temptations that, whenever we come into a windfall, and, here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's, April, we're doing our taxes, people are getting refunds, people are getting stimulus checks. Be aware that that money, okay, you may want to be cautious not to squander it and go wild and go out buying things that you don't necessarily need. So you want to be cautious with whatever this windfall is, and it's going to be different for all of you out there. You have access to divine wisdom to guide your investments so that they continue to support you. Okay, most of all, do not allow any fluctuations in your finances to stress you out either. Okay, as you have the power to be at peace no matter what's going on around you. So if you're lacking funds, don't worry. Funds may be coming in. If you have the necessary funds coming in, be aware of how you use those resources. And as you emanate peace, so do you attract what you need. So keep in a positive mind frame about your finances and money, and you will have a positive experience. But if you fall into the scarcity mentality, okay, it's going to push things away from you. But if you think positively, it will allow things to flow. What an amazing week. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like it by giving it a thumbs up, share it, and above all, subscribe, because I will be back with more.